Good morning to you once again on a Friday, TGIF. Give yourself a pat on the back for making it to the weekend, where we have first alerts going out for hard freezes that are expected. Another Arctic blast, round two as it were, and we're hoping that this time around isn't even colder than the last time around. We're expecting hard freezes, at least two, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, hopefully stopping by Monday morning. Will we see any wind chills in the single digits? That's going to become one of the million-dollar questions, because we know it's going to feel like the teens. That's almost a lock for Saturday and maybe once again early Sunday morning. That's why the extreme cold warning is in effect area-wide. Now, it hasn't begun yet. It starts at midnight tonight. It's going to run through 10 a.m. on Sunday. I like what the National Weather Service is doing here. I agree with them, because on Sunday, we're going to warm back up to the mid to upper 40s, temperatures similar to today, and we're going to be well above freezing by that point. So at least we'll be able to salvage the tail end, the second half of the weekend. We have first alerts, nevertheless. Saturday, 25 degrees to start. Sunday, 19. But again, even though this 19 looks worse, I really do think Saturday is going to be the colder one of the two, because the winds are still going to be really gusty. Again, the front's just moving through over the next couple of hours, but sometimes you don't get that initial shot of cold air till about 12 hours after the front moves through. These are forecast wind chills, so this is not the way it feels out there right now, but certainly I would say teens and 20s are going to be very common. And to that end, as we get to Saturday, by the graph model, hour by hour, remember this is the wind chill there, and yes, certainly I think Saturday morning it's going to feel like teens out there. But notice how even in the afternoon, it's still going to feel like the 20s out there. Yes, because even in the afternoon, even with all that sunshine, we're still going to be seeing the winds, and that's going to play a very significant role for all the parades. We've got a lot of big dogs that are coming this weekend. The crew of Oshun, and it looks like it's going to be in the 30s. Look at this. So we barely get above freezing during the day tomorrow, but it's certainly going to feel below freezing throughout the day. The one good thing, and this can't be understated on all these forecasts, Shem and Nuff, it's the same thing. You see sunshine, and notice how theirs is a little later. To that end, they decided to push it forward to 5 p.m. Remember, the original start time was supposed to be 6 p.m., so moving it up an hour, I agree with that. I think that was a really smart thing to do. Once it gets dark outside, you know, it only gets brutally cold out there. And then the crew of Denham Springs, again, we're going to have sunshine, so at least you don't have to worry about anything falling from the sky, no rain, nothing falling, nothing on the roadways, so that's going to be good news as well. We're starting to become mostly cloudy. I know the observation at Baton Rouge is saying sunny, but we got a lot of clouds moving our way. 46 feels like 41, and now we're starting to work in that northerly component to the winds. A lot of folks think that you can tell when a cold front moves through by temperatures dropping. That's not always the case. Usually what meteorologists look for is that shift in the wind, that northerly component. That tends to be the telltale sign. Meanwhile, we've got clouds moving our way. It is manifestly going to be a cloudy day, a little bit on the dreary side. And here's what's left of the showers, all rolling out farther and farther to the east. This was never expected to be that much in terms of a significant rainmaker. Matter of fact, I've already zeroed out the chance of rain the remainder of the day. More moisture, more clouds coming our way. But again, unlike the last time around, last weekend, we're not concerned about any kind of wintry mix or anything crazy like that. Just the hard freezes. So we want to make sure that we're prepared, and many of us are from the last time around. So your pipes hopefully are still wrapped. You definitely want to keep it so. 25 for Saturday morning. But again, sometimes when you're talking about pipes, sometimes you do need to factor in the wind chill and the way that it does feel out there. So that leads into it. 19 on Sunday morning. That's definitely hard freeze, no question about it. And again, the duration, we could be there around 12 hours, 12 plus. And there you see the wind chills in the teens. Again, hopefully it doesn't get any colder than that. So the cold front moving through this morning. The graph wants to take us up to the mid 50s. That wouldn't be so bad. Don't get used to that. And then here come the cold temperatures. Clouds get on out of here, and then we start to drop into the mid to upper 20s, I should say. Now, if you called Dr. Steve last night, he mentioned that there might be an outside possibility of a snow flurry or two early tomorrow morning. Yeah, I see what he's saying. On the graph model, I know it's hard to discern and make out the difference. Here are the clouds, but you can see it right there. Let me hit it one more time and see if the graph, it was showing a couple of those moving through the Macomb area. It doesn't really show it so much now, but nevertheless, maybe a snowflake or two out there. But again, that's going to be hard pressed to find. It is manifestly going to be a dry forecast. There's your high temperature for today, 52 degrees. That's not bad. Now, if you've got Friday evening plans, the earlier the better. Early in the evening, all right, 40s, we can handle that, right? But then 25 degrees getting late. And remember, the winds stay breezy. Usually at night, the winds die down a little bit, but we're not going to have that going for us this time around. Saturday cold, Sunday cold, Monday Groundhog Day, PRC Shadow or Punxsutawney Phil, regardless, hopefully they're going to call for an early spring.